Всем привет, друзья! Мы продолжаем играть в первый Kingdom Come Deliverance. Я все хотел зайти в интернет, найти этого Рихтера же, Ледечко. Но, я не люблю пользоваться интернетом, даже если нужна такая мелочь. Поэтому, думаю, просто заняться прогулкой. Странно, что его на улице ни разу не встречал, того чувака. А есть он тут вообще? Уже другой вопрос. Крестьянка.
Who's there? Answer me.
Короче, я устал. Стоп, я еще не все мясо подменил.
Hey, who's there? You're in the wrong place.
Да иди нахуй. Ты чё, дебил?
I'll chop you to pieces, you rat. Ooh. Bugger.
Да почему?
I've heard reports. You should have thought twice.
Look.
Но я больше нигде не вижу мяса, которое можно ему поменять. Блять, пиздуется задание. Еще можно, кстати, пойти к бастардам, шайка ублюдков. Огромный плюс в заданиях, которые можно, если что, скипнуть и вернуться потом. Но я не знаю точно, можно ли это скипать. Но мне плевать.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I'll be with you. I'm looking for Kuno. Kuno? Baron Rickvold. Isn't this his camp?
You won't get nothing out of him. You must be Radzig's man. I heard he was supposed to send someone.
Yes, Sir Radzig sent me as a guide. I'm Henry.
I'm Jakey. And this here fella, we call the Stone.
I can see why. What's up with him? Cat got his tongue?
No, more like the dog got it. The executioner's dog. When the executioner ripped it out of him. Anyway, you better come along with me. I'll introduce you to the other fellas. And the chief. These here are the Bearman brothers. Petter and Jan. They're a barrel of laughs. Except when they're too drunk to string two words together. Like now. Don't get on the wrong side of them, though. When their blood is up, well, it ain't a pretty sight.
Pleased to make your acquaintance, I'm sure.
Never mind the fancy poses, Stefan. You're trying to kill the fucker, not teach him how to dance. And you, Dangler, stand your ground. Don't let him lead you round by the nose.
Sir? Yes, sir. This is Henry. From Lord Kobler.
Ah, it's about time Radzig got around to this. We need someone who knows their way around these parts. Leave off with the bowing and curtsying. We don't hold with that tomfoolery here. Jakey! Where the hell are you sneaking off to? Go to the farm and get water. The lads are thirsty.
But I went last time.
And you'll go next time, you ungrateful pup. Get your ass moving. Snot-nosed brat. You pull them out of a pile of shit, and they thank you with back talk. Where were we? Oh yeah. We need a guide who knows these parts. So I hope I can rely on you, Herman.
It's Henry.
Right. Well, as I said to Radzig, I don't want to carry any dead weight. We could find ourselves in some very tight situations where every sword counts.
I know how to handle a sword, all right?
I've heard a lot of fellas say that. They still ended up on the wrong end of one. We'll find out. Stefan, take a break. Dangler, let's find out what Harold here can do.
Sure. No problem, Chief.
Ну ты мне за песика даешь. Я думал, сам выйдет драться. Ой, блядь. Ну начинается вот это вот. Ну чего ты хочешь?
God! Herrgott! Slot. Missed.
Знают.
You didn't fare badly at all, I must say. You can ride with us.
All right, good. Thanks.
Don't thank me yet. You don't know what you're letting yourself in for.
Sir Kuno, can you tell me something about yourself?
Drop the sir. That title brought me nothing but grief. But what do you want to know?
What about your debt to Sir Radzig? How did that come about?
A twist of fate, lad. I was fighting in the hostilities between the House of Schallenberg and the town of Colleen. Some trade dispute it was, and I fought under the Schallenberg colours. In the end, the two sides negotiated a truce, and I rode to Colleen with the delegation that was to parley there. We stopped off at an inn on the way, and it was there that I met Radzig Kobyla. I could tell at first sight he was a man after my own heart. A likeable rogue, with a sharp mind and a merry soul. We spent the whole night drinking together and talking, and in the morning we set off together, with sore heads, but in good temper, since he was travelling the Colleen same as I was. Only, once we reached the city gates, they arrested me on the spot. Seems the burghers had it in for me, since I'd been making their lives hell for a good 6 months. On the other hand, I was a member of the peace delegation, so by rights, they shouldn't have even looked at me sideways. And then it hit me why Radzig was there. Colleen is a royal city, so he was there to represent the king's interests.
I see. So he was on the other side.
That's right. Anyway, they threw me in a dungeon, and a few days later word reached me that the Schallenbergs had reached an agreement with the burghers. Only part of the deal was they would give them my head. And I'd surely have ended my days swinging from the town battlements if it hadn't been for Radzig. He liked me, and he could see it was a dirty trick, so he somehow squared things with the city council.
Lucky for you.
Indeed. I owe my life to Radzig, and I'll never forget it. He's asked me twice before for help. This is the third time, and how could I refuse him?
So Radzig told me the Rickvold family lost its wealth. How did that happen?
There's all sorts of ways to become impoverished. Nothing easier, especially when your father's a fool and your mother's mad as a bat.
Oh.
But it's a long and twisted story. We took our name from Rickvold Castle, but that actually belonged to the convent of the Poor Clares in Tynitz, and my father only leased it. You see, he knew the abbess there since they were young. Knew her very well. There was even talk that she only joined the order because her family wouldn't let her marry him. Anyway, whether he was fucking her right there in the convent, or he just took a lot of interest in scripture, he spent an awful lot of time in Tynitz.
Oh, he might have been after a bit of both.
Sinning and confessing all in one place. Well, I can see the convenience of it. Anyway, my mother never had strong nerves. Truth be told, her sanity was always shaky. Pa's escapades drove her cuckoo entirely. Then, one frosty December morning, I was woken by screaming and smoke. I looked out the window. I saw my mother there, in the courtyard, wreathed in flames. Behind her, the stables, the farm buildings and the tower were burning too. And she just stood there, shrieking with laughter.
Christ, that sounds like a scene straight out of hell.
Hellish it was, I can tell you. Me and my sister Adela and a few servants managed to get out before the whole place
Adela?
went up. I couldn't get to my father. Or my little brother. Poor lad was only 7. My sister and I were left destitute after the fire. Then my cousin, Adam of Drevich, took us into his castle. A few weeks later, he offered to buy what was left of our estates and sell me a small fortress near a Kovnik. It was a great relief. We suddenly had some hope of a future again. So I told my sister about it. And it was the biggest mistake of my life. A week later, the two of them announced to me they were getting married. And all that was left of our estates, lands, woods, villages, Adela was to get it all as a dowry.
But surely that was for you to decide. You were the head of the family, right?
Aye. Only I barely had 17 years under my belt, and I'd just lost everything. Of course, I argued with them, and that was the only excuse they needed to kick me out of Drevich too.
That's pretty harsh.
You're telling me. But I'm not complaining. As my pa always used to say, if you can turn your hand to something, you'll never be lost. I doubt it ever crossed his mind how often I'd remember those words.
Sir Radzig told me the Rickvold family...
There's all sorts of ways to become impoverished. Nothing easier.
Oh.
But it's a long and twisted story. We took our name from Rickval Carr. You see, he knew the abbess there since they were young. Knew her very well. Anyway, whether he was fucking her right there in the convent, or he just took a lot of
Я только что же вроде читал, слушал.
Well, nobles can be very devout sometimes.
Not my old man. He cursed like a... Anyway.
I'd like to ask about your men.
Ask away.
What about the fellow they call Dangler?
I've never ridden with a better man, I can tell you. He doesn't...
So he scouts for you?
Not just that. It's happened more than once. I was close nearly every time he was...
Those Behrman brothers are...
Indeed they are. There's no more mercy in them than in... well, a bear.
Jesus.
Oh, aye. They'd argue first about which one of them got to do. Real soldiers. A pair of them. As long as they don't get too drunk.
Я вот отпускали, потому что очень много не разговариваю.
What can you tell me about Stefan?
Fletching. For one thing, he's...
How did he come to join your band?
Well, let's just say he was in the right place at the right...
What exactly happened?
Sorry, I'd love to tell you the whole story, but I'd be...
Oh, now you've got me curious.
Sure, why not? Our Fletch does love to converse.
What about that dumb one? How did he end up with you?
The stone?
Just like that?
Aye, just like that. We were riding from Olomouc to a castle past Kladska. You know how it goes. We made acquaintance with them.
I'm not sure I'd be thinking that if I ran...
We might have done some things I ain't proud of. But wayfarers are sacred even for me. Anyway, our fellow travellers dropped off along the way. One in Mohelnit, except for the stone. He stuck with us the whole way. The fellas kept... When we were approaching Barsdorf, I ordered the men to get rid of him. I had some business at the... Stefan tried to tell him nicely. But he just sat there, staring like... Then the Behrman brothers tried to get him off his horse. He booted Jan in the face and knocked... A man who can do that is a man you want on your...
Weren't you worried about having a stranger in your band? Especially one who...
No, I figured if you can't talk, you can't tell.
What about Jakey?
Jakey, that boy will be the death of me. You've got to be tough on...
Like a son?
I wouldn't go that far. But I've no family of my own.
Well, you were pretty hard on him, though.
The boy needs a firm hand. I was like him once, and I got the same too. If we let...
True. Should we ride out?
Aye, we ought to set out on... I'd like to head to the north. Is there anything...
North of here, Samapesh and Merhoyed are that way.
I wouldn't mind paying a visit to the...
And from there?
From there, we'll follow our noses. Something interesting.
Sure.
Забавно выглядит. Такая компашка. Интересно, насколько длинное это задание. Мы здесь?
What a fine day, eh, brother?
Indeed, brother.
You know what I like best about days like this, Jan?
The scent of chamomile wafting from the hillsides.
Among other things.
Ah, like the rounded hills rising. Yeah. Dew glistening in a mossy hollow.
The sweet aroma of honey in the air.
The sturdy poplar, standing tall and erect.
Aye. It reminds me of that day. That day. Where the two of us fucked Fletcher's ma.
Very droll. You'd make a stuffed papa.
Your ma's a stuffed bird. I stuffed her myself.
Well, men, how are things?
May I?
Yes, Fletch?
How shall I put it? I'm a little concerned about the prospects in these parts, Chief.
Oh? How's that?
I've been looking around, and if you'll pardon me, it seems to me that we've been stuck for a long time in the arsehole of beyond.
It's not Paris, France, I'll grant you.
What I mean to say is, I haven't got any new kit or arrows since the day Jakey joined us. It makes me uneasy, Chief.
I see. What about the rest of you?
I don't know what Fletcher's moaning about. There's plenty of booze and loose wenches nearby.
Not to mention fools in the taverns who don't know when to stop rolling those dice.
Dangler?
It's the arsehole of beyond everywhere we go. It always makes me uneasy.
Jakey?
Fletch can complain. I was supposed to get a suit of armor, and all I got was a shitty kettle hat.
Sorry, but they don't do hauberks in girls' sizes.
Oh? Well, how did you get yours then?
All right, I appreciate your honesty, lads. Don't worry, there will be plunder. We're here to fight, and to the victor the spoils. And so it's always been, but no purse of silver will shed blood for you on the battlefield. That's what this company is for. And I hope you never forget the golden rule. You can joke all you want, moan all you want, but nothing will keep your skins in one piece better than trusting your leader, who you choose by your own free will. So don't ever forget that.
Amen.
Let's go. Behind me, and keep your eyes peeled.
Наконец-то они хотя бы ускорились немного.
What do you think we can expect this time, fellas?
Groschen, hidden in a piss pot under the bed. A nice chunk of beef no one there will be eating.
On account of it'd just fall out through the holes in their bellies, eh, brother?
My mouth is already watering, brother, and I ain't even touched a purse yet.
Once you've got your hands on some loot, I'll be happy to play you for your hard-earned groschen back at the camp.
Poor old Fletch. Never gets to see the action from close up.
What about you, Dangler? What do you expect to find?
Futility in human suffering, like always.
Always full of good cheer, eh, Dangler? Why don't you take a leaf out of Stone's book? Shut the fuck up.
Jesus, I wish you'd all shut the fuck up.
Keep your eyes peeled, though. There might be someone hiding out here still. Look for clues and question the survivors, if there are any.
Ебать.
Jesus Christ, what a massacre.
Looks like it happened fast.
They weren't even armed.
Ух ты.
Poor wretch. Kuno will want to know about this. I found this shield in a shed along with a letter. Seems like someone left us a message.
Show me that. I know that crest. It's the House of Zul. A dangerous lot, God's truth. I don't think we'll find anything else here. We'll stay here a while, just in case. And you should go and report to Radzig what happened.
What do you know about these Zuls?
A family of impoverished nobles. They fought in the Margraviate Wars in Moravia. But what they're after in Bohemia, I've no idea.
I thought I could go and search for those raiders. They might not have gotten very far yet.
All right. It's always good to have an extra pair of eyes. We'll keep searching here for a while, and then head back to the camp.
А кто я здесь рассчитываю найти? Что за могила? Карта сокровищ, что ли? Говно. Ну, кого-то нашел.
Riadó! Ott van egy a szemetek! Kedvem lenne valakiből kiverni a lelket!
Походу, это один из тех лагерей, где я уже убивал половцев, но они спавнятся. И боятся. Ладно.
Greetings, Henry. I hear you on the rat-eye tourney. Well done, lad.
Sir, I'm afraid I have some bad news. We came across a burnt-out farm near Merhayed.
Christ! It seems Pribyslavitz wasn't the end of it.
Well, this is something else, sir. We found a shield there with a crest. A tricolour star on a blue field.
I know that coat of arms, unfortunately. It's the House of Zul.
There was a letter there, too.
Show it to me. Although I think I already know what it will say.
Here you are, sir.
Unscrupulous beast. Cruelty and malevolence. I challenge you to face me in a duel. Defend your honor. Antinomious wretch. Well, that's nice. Signed, Hagen Zul. As I expected, old grievances coming back to haunt me.
What happened between you and Sir Hagen?
That's a long story.
Well, I'd like to hear the whole story, sir, if you wouldn't mind.
Very well. It began in the first year of King Wenceslas's reign. He sent me to resolve a dispute between the Zuls and a neighboring house. It concerned land boundaries. The Zuls had refused to accept the ruling of the land court. His Majesty's position was a little shaky after his coronation. So a decision was made in the royal court to take radical action against any dissent in the kingdom. Since the Zul family was defying the king, we were obliged to punish them. Harshly, as the circumstances demanded. The head of the family, Hagen's father, was hanged, their castle razed to the ground and their property confiscated.
So, they're out for vengeance. But you acted according to the law.
Would it were that simple, lad. I was young and didn't realize the repercussions it would bring. For one thing, the king didn't use it to strengthen his position. On the contrary, he took less and less interest in such affairs.
How come?
Because he realized things would eventually sort themselves out. He promoted me to royal hetman, leaving him to pursue other interests. Secondly, my actions essentially created another band of robbers. When you strip a nobleman of his property, you can't expect him to take to begging. And thirdly, I wasn't aware at the time that the other party to the dispute was distantly related to me. Naturally, that made it look like I was acting in self-interest. If I'd known what I know today, I'd have been a lot more circumspect.
This Sir Hagen wants to challenge you to a duel.
Apparently, he still hopes I will agree to this kind of outmoded solution to disputes.
But surely you can't refuse a challenge to a duel. What about your honor?
Henry, my boy, Honor is a splendid thing, and it should be held in high regard. But in time, you'll learn that some matters are not so straightforward.
Like this one?
Yes, like this one. The only reason Hagen is challenging me now is that he has a marked advantage. I've served as the royal hetman for the last 15 years and become a courtier. Hagen, meanwhile, was fighting in the Margraviate Wars in Moravia, and elsewhere as a mercenary. Which of us do you think would win a duel? That's not honor, but an abuse of honor. Commonplace opportunism. I don't blame him for trying, but I'm not such a fool as to play by his rules.
Well, what are we going to do about this?
You and Kuno's band will just have to deal with Hagen and prevent further mayhem. The longer he's marauding around these parts, the greater the chances that I'll finally have to succumb to his conditions.
So you'd fight him, if it came to that?
Let's hope it doesn't come to that. But maybe there's something else behind this challenge. Maybe it's coin he's after. Who knows?
All right. We'll deal with him, sir.
I'm sure you will, Henry.
I'd like to ask something about this Sir Hagen.
Sure. Goodbye.
Блять, как же много, очень много разговоров здесь. Это просто ужас. И нету быстрого перемещения в его лагерь. Ну, просто великолепно. Могли бы делать, не знаю, телепорт, что ли, в лагерь.
I've got something for you. I hope you won't need.
Thank you. Wouldn't you like to...
It's a bit late.
Вот я недавно кушал отсюда.
Yeah.
Блин, сейчас вот эта вот атмосфера прям олицетворяет мое состояние. Спать охота. Я как будто сейчас на месте Индра иду, такой кумаре. Поговорить и лечь спать. Ну, тут неплохо, конечно, наложено. А здесь вообще пусто. Спасибо. Надо поспать, наверное.
Hey, young fellow, you can't sleep here. Go and find a bed of your own. Out!
What is it, Jakey?
The stone wants to talk with you, if you can call it that. Probably about that ring.
What ring?
Ah, no one told you about it. The fellas call it the Ring of Bacchus. It's a kind of game we play. Kuno gave us this ring. It's just a worthless bauble. But when we're at the tavern, Kuno pays everything for the man who has the ring. So we steal the ring from each other and try to trick each other. Well, actually, just the others. They won't let me play. Kuno says I'm too young to get boozed up.
That sounds like a lot of fun. But I don't have the ring, so why does the stone want to see me?
He probably wants you to steal it from someone. Since you're new, the fellows will talk to you, and it won't be suspicious.
All right, I'll have a word with him. Hey, Jakey, can you tell me something about yourself?
Want to get matey, eh? Sure, Henry. What do you want to know?
How did you end up in Kuno's band?
Well, I used to be a baker's hand in Prague, but all the other fellas were always on my back, always swearing at me. Sometimes they even beat. To make a bit of coin, I started going to the tavern across the road, entertaining the rich. One time, Kuno turned up there, and I got to talking with him. When I told him all the shit I was getting at the bakery,
I bet you.
Yeah, though it's not like they give me much peace here either. It's all...
Well, surely you can't be any worse off here than in the bakery.
No. Only, at the bakery, the worst I ever got was a beating. It's not like my life was in danger. But here, when those beermen...
How come they bullied you at the bakery?
Not now, maybe.
Oh, come on, you, shy? You just said you were playing the fool and...
All right, I'll tell you the truth. They picked on me because I'm an orphan. The parish priest of St. Apollinaire's in Prague found me as a baby. I spent half my childhood in parish houses, and...
I see.
It still is tough, I can tell you that.
What do you think about this business with Hag and Zool?
Zool? Huh. I'd rather keep that to myself. But I reckon Radzik... I might not be grown up yet, but I've walked in these shoes long enough to know that asking a mercenary...
Wait, what are you trying to say?
Never mind. It's just a feeling I have.
All right, we'll drop it then.
Я бы поиграл еще, но я устал от разговоров здесь. Поэтому продолжим в следующей серии. Всем спасибо за просмотр, ставьте лайки, подписывайтесь, а главное комментируйте, чтобы я мог с вами общаться. До скорых встреч!